So starting on the daily chart here, few things I was looking at this week were this gap, the previous weekly high, and then the all-time high here. So I was looking to see if price was gonna continue to sell off at this gap or shoot past it like it did, and then we closed above the previous week high, and so there's nowhere else really left to go besides here. So that's a daily chart, and then we go back to the hourly. This is the weekly view on the hourly chart. You see we have Sunday's open here. We traded below that on Monday, and then it's just been straight up ever since. So then we got the 15-minute chart here. Not really an exciting day after the 9:30 open, just straight up. Again, this was the draw here at 21,245, and that's the all-time high on the daily chart. So getting into the lower time frames here, marked off is 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. I didn't start watching till about 2 p.m. so that's why I marked it off there. We had a gap here that's extended out, and then this is the news candle here at 2:30. Pretty underwhelming, but that's okay. So we had this initial sell-off here, and what I was looking at is this low here and this low here. So we started to sell off, and then what I was paying attention to is this gap. I was looking to see if price was going to close below it or reject it like it did. And this is a pretty common thing that happens on the FOMC days. Price will go in either direction and then close near the open, and that's very telling of a potential reversal. Apart from this, you'll see here I've got the ES on the left chart and the Dow on the right. You'll see here the lows at 11:15 a.m. Were both taken out on each of these. You'll see that here and here, and that's after the 2:30 release, so that's very important there. Looking back on the Nasdaq, the 11:15 low is way back here, and it's not even anywhere near there. So clearly showing NQ does not want lower prices, and that put me on watch for a reversal. So this is the 1 minute chart here. We have 2:30 here, and we had that initial run up and then sell off. This gap is very close in position to the 5-minute gap we looked at earlier, and the same thing happens here. It trades down into it, trades below it, and now wanted to see if this candle was going to close here or not. Obviously it didn't, and then the next candle after that violates this gap here, which made it an inversion. Oops. And then it created a new bullish gap here. So at this point I was looking at this gap. I would have liked to see this sell off and take out this low and then go back up, but that's not what happened, which is okay. This candle here completely just closes this gap and then turned it into an inversion as well. You see I have that marked here. Also created a new gap. Price comes down into this gap here, then starts to trade away again, and then executions here. So I did try to take this gap short. My entry was at the bottom here. I should have just left it alone after seeing this, but that's okay. It was only 5 micros and about a 15-point loss there. I closed it once we shot past this here. That was okay though. Instantly executed again because this was very clear to me that we were now bullish, especially with the divergence back here. So bought right in here, which is the top of this inverted gap here, and then price starts to move away. I noticed it made a new gap there, and then second entry at the top of this gap here. Price starts to trade away again, and I saw this gap was formed. This is another potential entry if you want, but I decided to just do 10, and then took partials here, this high, around this high, and then another gap was formed here, you can also add here, but it's pretty close to the target, so just let the rest go. My stop loss to begin with was below this gap here, and then eventually moved up to this low here and this low here. And yeah, that was the day pretty much. After it took out this high, nothing much happened, so yeah. And I plan to make at least one of these per week, so catch you in the next one.